a better network than this is UNet, because it's generally much more deeper and also better architecture. So UNet is a encoder-decoder architecture. So you have this encoding, wait. So you have this encoding part of the network, which is encoder downsampling network. So this is doing feature encoding. So you have the input image, and then you do some convolution, right? For example, you're doing these are, I think, 3x3 convolution. So here it is given. So this is 3x3 convolution followed by ReLU, and so you do these two such convolutions and you get to here. So you get 64 channels, and then you do max pooling, which is downsampling the image by half, and then again you do two more convolutions, and this time the number of channels are more. So the number of channels is 128. Then again you do downsampling, max pooling via max pooling, and again you are doing convolution. Again the number of channels is even more. So as you go deeper and deeper, so you are going deeper and deeper, and you are doing more and more downsampling, right? So here downsampling and increasing the number of feature channels. So here it is like 512 here, yeah. So that is what up to which you come, and then again you do a downsampling, and then so this part of the network, this part is the encoder part where you are doing all this downsampling, and the decoder part is this part where you will do upsample, so that you almost come to the same size as the input image. So your depth map is almost the same size as input image. It will be little less because when you do convolution you throw away some pixels. So that's why the size will reduce a little bit, but it's almost the same resolution. The depth map that you obtain is almost the same resolution as the input. So this part is the downsampling and encoder part. So finally you get to some 32 cross 32 spatial size, 32 cross 32 cross 512, and yeah, so then again you do a convolutions, so it becomes 28 cross 28 cross 512. Now when you are upsampling, what we do is we concatenate the corresponding features from the encoder part. So it's not just, we could have done upsampling without, so if you look at this connections, right, skip connections or copy and crop, this, if you see this operation, so what it does is these features which are in the encoder, for example this feature is concatenated with the decoder. I mean, once you start the decoding, it concatenated with the decoder, and that is how you are going. So every time you are upsampling via up convolution or transpose convolution, if you do, so which increases the size by twice, you also take the features, features from the encoder and then concatenate them, and then again pass through convolution, then again do upsampling via this up convolution, and then again you concatenate the features from the encoder to this, and then again you do convolution, like that. So this way you are always, so what happens if you just go like if you just go deeper and deeper, so we are reducing the size of the image, and in this way we are losing the spatial resolution. So therefore when we are going up, if you don't take this kind of information, if you don't take this skip connection, or if you don't concatenate from the encoder, then you will lose on resolution. Like we will not be able to reconstruct the higher resolution, because anyway we are going lower and lower resolution. So to do that, this kind of skip connection or this kind of thing is like this kind of concatenation operation is done. Okay. Yeah. So this is how these two thing works, and then it will give you an output which is the depth map, which is almost the same size, little bit smaller than the input image. And so the downsampling operation, it is written here, it is pointed out that we are using convolution layer followed by max pooling to progressively reduce the spatial dimension while increasing the number of channels. So number of channels is getting increase, right, from 64 to 128 to 256, 512, and this way we are capturing high level features and context. So this is about the encoder downsampling network, and the decoder upsampling network is here. So this involves transpose convolution or upsampling layers, and which increases the spatial dimension of the features, and we are combining it with the low level features from the downsampling path with high level features. So basically from the low level features, for example, when we are going one layer up, you are taking these features, of course we are upsampling it, but we are also combining it with the high level features from the encoder, and this way we get more information from the encoder. What we have lost here while downsampling, we are gaining it from the encoder. So that's why like this is the highest resolution. So what we have lost by going to lower resolution is kind of obtained from this connection, this concatenation operation from the encoder. So like we just need to train this network. Again, this is a supervised, so you have an input image and you have the training data will consist of lots of input image and the corresponding ground truth depth map, and then you train your network using that input image and the output depth map. And once you have trained it, then you can give, during testing, you can give any new image and it will give you the corresponding depth. So this is a better network, and this skip connection directly, which is directly connects corresponding layers in the downsampling path to the upsampling path. This preserves spatial information lost during downsampling, which allows you to do more precise reconstruction. So that is the logic for this skip connection or for this concatenation. Okay. And the loss functions that generally can be used is the MSE, mean square error, which means that, let's say, so this is supervised learning, so you will know the exact depth di, and at any pixel, at each pixel you will know, and this is di. So di is the true value for pixel I. So true value means you have a ground truth, right? You know like you have a depth sensor from whatever the depth sensor gives for that particular pixel, that is the di, and then di prime or di hat is the predicted depth value. So the network, when you're training it, right, it will predict some depth value, that is this di hat. And we are minimizing this mean square error, so our squared errors. This is nothing but squared error, and it is mean because we are doing averaging, and we are minimizing this kind of loss. And when it is properly minimized, then my di hat should be almost equal to di. And then the network is trained, and this is of course during training only. During testing, you don't do this loss and all. And apart from that, you can also do this mean absolute error. So that was squared error, mean squared error. This is mean absolute error, which means you just take the absolute value. And this also you can use both the combination of MSE and this mean absolute error you can use. Generally, this preserves this makes the images or depth map more sharper. Generally this mean square error has this, it generally produces smoother, so your edges might get blurred. So if you use this absolute error, the edges are not blurred. So that's why this combination of these two errors are generally used. And then you train your network, your UNet, and then during testing you directly use the network. It's for predicting the depth. So that is about these two supervised learning, and generally UNet is better than multiscale because it is much deeper and all, and it's also encoder-decoder.